friends, it's Miss Stephanie, and I'm here with Friday Family Storytime. We took a little break while school was ending, and we're back. We have some more books. I have more books to read with you, to share with you, and we'll sing our hello song, and we'll get ready to slide into summer reading. Did you know it was summer reading time again? It is, and our program is back and better than ever, and super easy to participate in. So if you don't have a bingo board, you can pick it up at the library. You can also print it off at home, and that's all you need to get reading for the summer. And then at the end of the summer, you get your book prize, like always. And that's really, really cool. Are you ready? Let's shake out our hands and sing hello to each other. We wave hello like this. We wave hello like this. With all our friends, it's story time. We wave hello like this. Hello. All right. So here's the first book I want to share with you all. It's Mr. Mole Moves In, and it's written by Leslie Ann Green, and it has these really cool illustrations that are done with wool-felted animals, needle-felted animals. And it's really, really cute. Mr. Mole has just moved to Juniper Hollow. He was looking forward to meeting his neighbors and making new friends. There. Who's that? Oh, it's a little raccoon. Now, Juniper Hollow doesn't get too many new residents. So when they do, boy, oh boy, do these critters get excited. That's why Raccoon had been playing in the grassy field by Mr. Mole's house, waiting for a chance to meet him. When he saw Mr. Mole emerge from his house that afternoon, Raccoon stopped his game of ball and rushed over to introduce himself. "Hi, I'm Raccoon. It sure is nice to meet you," said Raccoon, sticking out his paw. "I'm Mr. Mole. I just moved here from Mole Town, and the pleasure is all mine," said Mr. Mole, taking hold of a tree branch and giving it a good shake. Oh, that's funny. He missed his hand and shook a branch because you know what? I know about moles. They can't see very well. Raccoon was a little confused. "I guess that's how they do things in Mole Town," he said to himself. He was still thinking about that paw shake when he ran into Rabbit and her bunnies on their way into town. Raccoon told them all about meeting Mr. Mole. As they were chatting, they saw Mr. Mole heading their way, but instead of walking toward them, he walked right into a fence post. "Oh, I beg your pardon," said Mr. Mole to the fence post. "Did you hear how polite Mr. Mole was?" Rabbit said, turning to her bunnies. "Yes, Mamma," they chorused. "Mole Town must be a very polite place," said Rabbit approvingly. She quickly hopped after Mr. Mole, hoping to introduce herself and her bunnies. They had almost caught up to Mr. Mole when they saw him speaking with Giraffe outside the general store. Of course, being a polite critter herself, Rabbit wasn't about to interrupt. "What a beautiful baby," Mr. Mole said, looking sweetly at the watermelon Giraffe was holding. "It's not a baby." Thank you," said Giraffe, looking down at her watermelon. "Welcome to Juniper Hollow," she added, but Mr. Mole had already gone inside the store. Giraffe was feeling a little bewildered when Rabbit approached and told her everything that she had seen and heard about Mr. Mole that day. "Well," said Giraffe, "they must really like watermelons in Mole Town." "I guess so," said Rabbit. The general store is the heart of Juniper Hollow. Anything you would possibly want or not want, you could get there, and no matter the time of day, you would be likely to find any number of critters inside discussing the goings-on in and around Juniper Hollow. That is exactly what Cat and Chicken were doing. They're so cute. "I saw that new critter, Mr. Mole, out walking today. He was wearing such a wonderful outfit," said Cat enthusiastically. "Mole Town must be very fashionable," said Chicken. "I hear that's where he moved from." Cat was thinking about Mr. Mole's colorful sense of style when in walked Mr. Mole himself, followed by Rabbit and her bunnies. Inside, oh look, there's his cart. Inside, Mr. Mole began to fill his cart with cans of worms. Delicious," he murmured. "Can I interest you in a fishing rod to go with those?" asked Bear. "No, thank you," said Mr. Mole. "I'm not much of a fisherman." Bear wasn't sure what to make of that. But before he had a chance to ask questions, Rabbit hopped forward to introduce herself and her bunnies. Well, 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 exclaimed Mr. Mole. How nice to meet you. Bear, I will also take 3 of these candies for the little one, said Mr. Mole, dipping his paw into a jar on the counter, and with a smile he handed each bunny an eraser and left the store with his groceries. An eraser is not a candy. Rabbit considered the erasers for a moment. Maybe they chew them like bubble gum in Mole Town, she said. The bunnies weren't so sure about that. They decided they would save their candies for later so as not to seem rude and put them in their pockets. Mr. Mole seems like a lovely critter, said Chicken, who had been watching from over by the canned goods. Oh, yes, agreed Cat. We really should do something to welcome him to Juniper Hollow. The critters all agreed and put their heads together to come up with something. I have an idea, said Cat excitedly. Word of Cat's plan spread like wildfire. There's Mr. Mole in his house. The next day, the critters of Juniper Hollow gathered together and made their way to Mr. Mole's house. As they approached, they could see Mr. Mole peeking out from behind the curtains. They were surprised to find that he looked a little scared. Mr. Mole, it's just us critters come to welcome you to Juniper Hollow, called Cat. Mr. Mole opened his front door and stepped outside. We've brought you a welcome basket, said Giraffe. Oh, how lovely, said Mr. Mole, relieved that they were a friendly mob. I also brought you these, said a tiny voice from the crowd. The littlest bunny hopped over to Mr. Mole and handed him her extra pair of glasses. I thought maybe you could use them, she said quietly. Oh my goodness, exclaimed Mr. Mole. How did you guess? I lost my glasses in the move, and I haven't been able to see a thing without them. Mr. Mole thanked everyone for the warm welcome, and as the crowd of critters dispersed, he took his welcome basket into the house. Once inside, he eagerly opened the basket and found it filled with the most curious things: branches, erasers, watermelons, and all the things he said he liked when he couldn't see. Then he smiled to himself. I guess that's just how they do things in Juniper. Things got a little confused, but I think it'll be okay now that Mr. Mole has his new glasses. All right, let's see what we have next. How about this one? The Alpactory. Ready, Pack, Go by Ruth Chan. Ruth Chan has really cute books. She has another one called Where's the Party that I like a lot, about a little cat. Here's the Alpaca Mobile. Are you going somewhere new and excited for your adventure? Maybe. Uh-oh, I can't turn the page. But no matter how hard you try, you just don't feel ready? Are you worried you'll pack the wrong things for your sleepover? Yes. Or that you won't have enough pencils for your first day of school? Definitely. Is there just too much stuff to pack for your camping trip? Without a doubt. Don't worry, the Alpactory's here to help. The Alpactory, it says, providing packing and preparation services for all experiences. At the Alpactory, we know just what you'll need, guaranteed. There's the Alpactory. It says, welcome, and he's standing outside. We'll pick and pack all the right things, and then you'll be on your way. You'll never forget your bathing suit. Are you worried you'll feel lonely? Don't fret. We've got the best books to keep you company. Or maybe you're afraid of the dark? Here's a flashlight to shine on the way. We can even pack a bit of home for you so you won't forget that home misses you too. Next, we'll pack some clothes that we've tested in all kinds of weather so you're never too hot and never too cold. Want to stay dry in the rain or wet in the bathtub? We've got that figured out too. And snacks! We'll pack the wobbliest and crunchiest and slurpiest snacks around. Yum! We'll pack things that bounce and things that roar. And then we'll even pack some more. There's lots to see in these pictures. We'll pack and pack and pack until... Wait, thank you, but this is too much stuff. Yeah, I only need one toothbrush and just these 2 pencils. Hey, maybe we've been ready all along. I think you're right. After all, you are brave and kind and funny. You already had everything you needed. Wherever you go, whether close or far, you'll be ready. So get excited to try new things, sleep over, to make new friends, to go to school, and to see what's out there. Go camping. Until you're back home and ready to do it again. And look, there are pictures growing up in the Hall of Fame. And there's room for more people. Maybe you could go there. So cool. I really like that book. It's called Alpactory, Ready, Pack, Go. Okay, here's another book I think you'll really like. It's called Regina is Not a Little Dinosaur, and it's by Andrea Zwill, who wrote a really cute book called Sweetie. You can see some of her other books here in the back. All right. Regina is not a little dinosaur. Deep in the primeval forest lurks a dangerous predator. Her name is Regina. Can you make a dinosaur roar? Roar! And at this moment, Regina is upset. Sorry, Regina, this is a real hunt. It's not for small dinosaurs. Stay in the nest and be Mama's good little carnivore. Mama's good little carnivore? Ha! Regina isn't that little. She knows she's ready. Regina already has a terrifying roar, roar, a fear-inducing stare, and an uncanny gift for camouflage. So, after making sure her mom was well out of sight, Regina heads off on her first real hunt all by herself. Roar! It isn't long before Regina spots something in the undergrowth. She creeps carefully, oof, and quietly, snap. Almost there. Chomp. I wonder what she got. Ouch! Uh-oh, what did she get? She got a big triceratops. Whoa! That could have been dangerous, and a snack that size would totally have ruined her appetite for dinner. Regina is going to have to be much more careful. Sorry about that. So she waits and waits until she catches a scent. Sniff, 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 sniff. Yes! This is more like it. Ooh, I wonder what she's going to get. Oh! Looks like a big ankylosaurus. How do you get into this thing? Nom, 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 nom. Thwap. Careful. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry, kid. That's not going to work. Hunting is turning out to be harder than Regina thought. Regina is worried. Why isn't she good at it? What if she never gets good at it? What if she has to live the rest of her life as an herbivore? Gasp. What if... Snap. Wait a minute. This might work. This creature is snack sized and doesn't have a hard shell. Roar. Hiss! Yikes! That was a little bit scary. The snack is hungry. I'm not that tasty! Regina decides to give her hunting skills one last try. Oh no! The mama! Roar! Do you see her back there? Regina thinks she did the scaring, doesn't she? Regina? Oh, hi, Mom. Mom is angry, but she forgives Regina. And since Regina is so eager, Mom agrees to make her a list of things that are safe to hunt. Regina promises to follow it. And she does. Roar! Rocks are safe to hunt. Roar! Worms are safe to hunt. Roar! Flowers are safe to hunt. But zzz, Mom! Maybe bees aren't safe to hunt. That's funny. Regina is not a little dinosaur. Okay, last book. It's called 10 Beautiful Things by Molly Beth Griffin, illustrated by Maribel Lechuga. 10 great things. 10 beautiful things. Lily ran her finger across the Iowa map. An X marked Graham's house on an empty patch of land. Lily's new home. Grand's car tires hummed against the pavement. Lily felt the vibration in her hollow chest. Let's try to find 10 beautiful things along the way, Gran said. Lily turned her eyes to the window. There's nothing beautiful here, she said. She struggled to fold the map as it nestled into itself just right. You'd be surprised, Graham said. And sure enough, wow, at that very moment, the sun broke over the long horizon. That is beautiful, Lily gasped. There's number 1, she cried. Right you are, Lily, said Graham. Fence posts rushed past. Graham flipped on the radio, trying to fill the silence. Lily felt the complaint starting in her belly again, coming up her throat and nearly out her mouth. But then Graham shouted, number 2! A wind farm had sprouted in the field beside the freeway, spinning windmill blades gleaming in the morning sun. Wow. Lily concentrated on the game. There's a red-winged blackbird. And found number 3 real fast. A red-winged blackbird perched on a swaying stalk of last year's corn. It was dark and bright all at once, its beak wide open in a song they couldn't hear. So pretty. Later, Graham signaled and turned the car onto a smaller road. 2 more highways to go, she said. Lily popped a handful of crackers into her mouth, but food didn't fill up her hollow places. Graham cracked her window, and in rushed air and sound and cold. They crossed a bridge, and Graham chose number 4, the gurgly sound of a melting creek. Lily dozed off. She woke up when Graham tapped her knee and pointed out a falling apart barn. That's not pretty, Lily said. That can't count. We're not looking for pretty. We want beautiful, Graham said. So it stood, halfway to 10. At a rest area, Lily bounced out of the car. While Graham stretched her creaky body, Lily picked number 6. The smell of mud, she said, inhaling. Graham shut her eyes and nodded slowly. It's earthy and rich, she said. I'd never really noticed. Lily breathed in the mud smell and focused on just that. It poured itself into some of the empty spaces in her. Back on the road again, the car seemed smaller. The humming in Lily had stopped, but her legs wanted to sprawl and her stomach was getting queasy. It didn't feel so good. We're on a roll now, Graham said, and she was right about that. 7 and 8 were easy, a cloud shaped like a swan and a little brown calf that trotted beside the fence. Miles and miles later, they turned on to their last road, and the clouds began to draw close. The sky grew dark, the earth rumbled. Suddenly the air exploded in bright flashes. Cloud banks traded lightning back and forth, showing off. Number 9, Lily whispered. There was no room for other words. The storm took up the whole world, and it filled Lily up too. She was here with Gran, and for a whole minute, that was all that mattered. On they drove, almost there. Not far now. When they'd been almost there for a long time, Graham braked, eased the car down a crumbling driveway, and parked in front of the farmhouse. Here we are, here we be, she said, through the drum of the rain. Home. But we only made it to 9, Lily said, slumping in her seat. Nope, 10. Easy. Graham came around with the umbrella, and Lily stepped out of the car. We're 10, Graham said. Lily sank into her familiar hug. None of this was easy. Maybe it would never be easy, but she belonged with Graham now. She belonged here now. This place was empty. This place wasn't empty, and neither was she. And she's with her Graham, and they had a hug and a long road trip where they saw 10 beautiful things. I loved the book. I love the illustrations in this book, and I hope you enjoyed it too. I will see you next week for more stories. Bye, friends.